Hi y'all, my name is Rabina. Welcome back. If you haven't guessed already, today is seed starting day. I live in Southeast Texas, which fits me in zone 8B, and that means my average last frost date is March 15th. Now, if you know anything about Texas weather, you know that doesn't really mean anything. Wait 5 minutes, the weather will change. But on average, that is the last date that we have to worry about a big freeze hitting us. So that means everything we start today, when we put it outside, we don't have to worry about a cold front coming through and killing everything that we started. So what I'll be using today is a 72 plug tray. That means there are 72 holes per tray, and I can put, depending on how big the seed is, I'm going to put 2 seeds per cell. So I have a better germination rate, and I don't end up with a bunch of empty cells. Now, most home gardeners use a 48 tray, and that means that the little holes are twice as big. Now, I'm using the smaller ones because I plan on planting these up and then selling them as plant starts at our local farmers market in a few months. If you're doing this just for yourself at home, use the bigger trays, and that saves you the time of having to transplant them up into a 4-inch cup and then put them outside. Since I plan on selling most of these, I want to get the best use out of the limited space that I have. And that's why I'm going with the 72 plug tray. I am also going to be using this seed starting mix from Soma, and make sure it says seed starting, because regular potting soil has a bunch of other stuff that the seedlings are just not strong enough to deal with. Now, as you can see in front of me, I've got my computer pulled up. It's got a chart of all my seeds and how soon they need to be started indoors. A couple of them I will be just direct sowing. That means after March 15th, I just plant them outside and I don't have to worry about their frost. There are certain seeds like cucumber seeds, once they start to take root, they do not want to be disturbed. So if I was to start them here and then try and transplant them outside, well, then I'm going to damage the root system and it'll all be for nothing. But I have 3 that were supposed to be started 2 weeks ago. I'm a little late doing this, but better late than never, right? Everything else I have is supposed to be started 6 to 8 weeks, and that's where I am right now. I'm 6 weeks from my last frost date. That is why everything, the majority of everything, will get started today. To get started, we have to pre-moisten our seed mix. I don't know if you can see this, but it's very dry, very loose, and that's what you want. You don't want your seeds to have to fight through the soil to try and get established. That's why we don't use potting soil. Let's pre-moisten this. And the reason we pre-moisten this is because, as you can tell, I'm having a little bit of a hard time getting it all saturated. If we were to just go ahead and put these into the cells and then put our seeds in and then try and water it, we risk dislodging our seed, and then we've wasted a seed. So we're getting to that point with this mix a little bit more. So you want it to hold, but you don't want it to drip. And I have some drip. Let's mix it up a little bit more. Pour the whole bag in there because we're gonna need it all. Now, one thing that I forgot to do, which I'm gonna do now, wash my hands off a little bit, is I need to make some plant tags, because once they're in here, I'm not gonna remember what I put in what cell. So I've got most of them labeled, but I do have these seeds that I need to make little tags for. So I have these little markers I got off of Amazon, and my little garden marker. This is waterproof, it won't wash off. Let's see, we're gonna put what each one of these are. We have all of our little labels made, we can start filling this tray up. So this is what you want. You want it to hold together, but you don't want any drip. So we will just start with this tray and start filling it up. You know, I have 4 bags of this soil mix. With as many seeds as I have, I think I'm gonna need more. We're about there. Oh, that one almost got away from me. I got one right here. See, this is why we checked. This one was only halfway full, so we would not have had enough soil base for the roots to get established properly. That is why we want to make sure there is plenty in each cell. The 3 we have that need to be started 8 to 10 weeks are, did I say 3? I'm at 4. So we've got thyme, we've got TAM Jalapeno, sunrise tomato, and the blush tomato. All 4 of these need 8 to 10 weeks, so we're going to go ahead and definitely start these today. This little spreadsheet I have that I'm looking off to the side in, I went ahead and decided how many rows of each seed I want to start. The thyme, we're going to do 2 rows. When I say rows, I mean this way. I've got this little bowl that I made because, as you can see, those seeds are teeny tiny. And there's a lot of them in here, so I'm definitely not going to use them all this year. I can save them for next year. And since these are so tiny, I am just going to sprinkle a couple in here. Pretty sure I got them all in there. Put the rest back in the packet. And so I'll just go back and brush the soil over top of the seeds. We've got those in there. Get my little tag. There we are. I am going to put it at, so when I put these on the heat mat, I'm going to put them like this. So I will have the tag at the beginning of the first variety of seeds. Next one is the Summer Sunrise. I'm really excited about these. I've never had a yellow tomato before, have you? But I had people asking for them, so we're going to start them. Okay, these aren't too tiny. I'm still going to put them in here. So that's what, these are the sunrise tomato seeds. I am going to put 2 per cell. That way I have a better chance of having something in each cell. These are supposed to be 1/4 of an inch in the soil. And I wanted to do 5 rows of these. Just enough. Now the packet said I was supposed to have 25 seeds. But 5 times 2 is 10, not 25. And I am out of seeds. I did notice a couple of the seeds were sticking together, so hopefully they will still be viable, but probably not. So that is why I put more than one in each cell. Let me grab my label. This is the Summer Sunrise. We started them in this cell. So we've got 5 rows of those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 5 cells left. Let me see which one. Okay, so the blush tomato, I'm going to do 5 of as well. So since I have 5 rows left, I'm going to do that one in this tray. We'll put the next into the next tray. Now, as I'm doing this, I'm realizing this seed starter mix is pretty wet. So what I will do there is I just will not water them today. I will let them dry out a little bit before I give it any more water. Tomatoes are pretty hardy plants. Say both of these seeds that I'm putting in each cell germinate, all I'll do is when I go to transplant them into the 4-inch pots, which I will be selling these in, I will separate the 2 plants and plant 1 in each 4-inch pot. Hopefully, I got a seed in each cell, but I don't think I did. This last row here, I have a feeling I'm going to be missing a couple. But they are tiny, so I could have grabbed more than 2. Once they start to germinate, I'll be able to tell. Pinch this back over. And there we are, first tray done, yay! That was much easier. I should have done this from the start. I'm gonna have to go back through and pack in some more on a lot of these cells, but it was definitely a lot cleaner than the other way. Okay, we got that tray ready to go. And let's see. The TAM Jalapeno's next. You know why they call it the TAM Jalapeno? It stands for Texas A&M. I'm sure my brother will appreciate that I'm planting these. He's an Aggie, and that's where these were developed. Looks like I've got quite a bit. I had down that I was going to do 3 rows. I might do 4. So I went ahead and did 4 rows We'll see how far we get. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to put 2 in each cell. And 4. I'm going to save the rest of these for, I might try and do succession planting where I start them again in a couple of weeks so I have them throughout the season, or I might save them for the fall. We'll see how they do. Get my little, go back through and pinch these in. All snug and tight. Put our little tag in there and we are done. Let's move on to the next. Thyme, Summer Sunrise, Jalapeno, Blush Tomato, Purple Heart. This one I'm excited about. This is an heirloom variety and it's got the dark meat inside the tomato. Actually, I'm going to cut this one down to 4. Do 4 rows of Serranos. Update my notes here. 4 rows of the TAM. Just for my own preference, I am going through, and some of these got 2. I am going to dig one out and put it in oh, come on now, its own cell because I don't want an empty row. I think I'm going to have an empty cell, but I'll have to get over it. We'll see how they come out. The next one is the Serrano Peppers. And I got these especially for my daddy. He loves cooking, but he likes his stuff spicy. So this has 25 seeds too, but let's see how many we actually got. Okay, this is better. I am starting with 1 in each cell. That way I know everything has something. And then with my leftover seeds, I'll go back and double plant. They're the spicy ones. The Texas A&M jalapenos are much lower on the Scoville scale. They're just like a regular jalapeno. And again, these are going to be the ones that I sell at our market. So when it comes time to transplant them into the 4-inch pots, I will separate any of them that, or 2 of them germinated. Second tray done. still pretty wet, so I'm going to mix it up with that, and then we'll see how much water we need. So my house runs off of a well, and I was surprised that I had a lot of calcium in my water, so I put a water filtration system for the whole house. And when you plant, your plants don't want the filtered water, they want the good stuff. So I have a bucket down here of unfiltered water that came straight off the well before the filtration system. All the seeds we're going to do now are the 6 weeks before the last frost date. So these are on time. We should have no problems with these. Our next one is our cayenne pepper. I have 33 of these seeds, even though I'm supposed to have 25. I think I am going to do... Goodness, I just realized I did not label our purple heart tomato. Good thing I caught that before we went too far. I did. How many of the 4 rows? 1, 2, 3, 4. Purple heart should start there. And that would not have been fun in a couple of weeks. So we are going to do our cayenne. We got our tag in there. I know I keep saying I'm going to sell these as starts at the farmer's market. I am also going to plant these outside and then sell them as produce when they are ripe for those that don't want to grow them themselves. All the cayennes are gone, and our next one will be oregano. Teeny tiny little ones. I'm actually gonna go and not do the 1/4 inch because these are so tiny. I'm gonna just spread them across the top and then just kind of tap them in with my finger. And I am just gonna sprinkle. Push them in there and make sure they are set into the soil, so when we water them with a mister, we don't dislodge them. Our next one is the Chinese giant bell pepper that starts off green, but then when it's mature, it turns a red color, and it's a sweet pepper. As expected, these are the size of what you see when you cut open a bell pepper. So I will go ahead and make the little divots. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to start with one in each cell and then go back if I have enough. Is that. So our next one is going to be the Genovese Basil. And we're going to do 3 rows of that. There we go. Let's see how big these are. Teeny tiny. Bigger than the others, but still teeny tiny. So I'm just going to cast these over the top and then pat them down. See how small they are. And there's still plenty left in this packet, so back in they'll go. And we'll keep these. I'll probably do a succession planting on the basil. It grows really quickly and a lot of people like it. And tray number 3 is done. Just enough seed starter to do these 4. Worked out pretty well. I've got 4 more over there, but those will be for the later starts. You know, I think I'm going to make this easy on myself. I am just going to do the San Marzano and the Brandywine. I'm going to split this tray in half and do 6 of each. So the first one we're going to do is Brandywine. So these are pretty decent sized seeds. I am going to go ahead and do the divot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I'm going to put the tag for San Marzano in here so I know where to stop. Since I am doing 6 rows of these, I'm going to do the same thing. Start with 1 and then go back through and make sure at least each cell has 1. Brandywine's all done. Flip this around. And that will be the San Marzano. I only have 1 packet of these, but these are the indeterminate variety, which means that the plant will keep going and keep producing an indefinite number of fruit as long as the plant doesn't die and it doesn't get too hot, then you will have tomatoes indefinitely. But this is a vine, so it's going to be a little bit harder to plant outside. I have to make sure I put a trellis up against it. So this soil feels pretty wet to me. And I know I said that second tray felt pretty good, but the more I worked it, the wetter it felt. So I am not going to water any of these today. I will come back in a day or two, see how they're holding up to the heat from the heat mat, and see how fast they dry out. And then I will determine whether or not to water then. So I almost forgot a very important step. I need to cover these guys. They need the humidity to help the seeds germinate. So you can use humidity domes, they sell those. I just decided I was gonna use saran wrap. All you have to do is make sure that all the sides are covered. Cut this off here. And then as soon as I start seeing 50% germination, which means half this tray, I'm starting to see some growth, I will take these off and I won't need to put them back on. And make sure there's enough on this side. Tuck these in, make sure they stay down, because we don't want the humidity that's created by the moisture in the soil and the heat that comes off the heat mat to escape. We need that for our little guys to grow big and strong. I almost forgot. Well, those are the first seeds of the spring of 2022 planted. Now make sure you hit the subscribe button, because I will be doing another video for the other seeds, and they only need 4 weeks before the last frost date to start. So please make sure you come back for that. Make sure you give it a thumbs up if you like this video, and leave a comment and tell me what your favorite seed to start from indoors is. Thanks, y'all. Have a great day.